Welcome to NEXTGames High Tier Mission Battlefield series. This video, revisiting the Champion of the Dawn fight. Now in this video, I'll go into the strategies that you should use for Champion of the Dawn, and then I'll show you a battle example with my new strategy on the easy difficulty, showing a drop. Now I'm focusing on that drop is because I've already covered this HTMB in a previous video, showing how to defeat it on very easy. But after well over 20 runs with no drop, I knew a different strategy was needed if you actually were going to acquire any of this gear. I then tried multiple strategies on easy and normal, and was able to come up with some strategies that work for both, and in the 15 easy runs I've won, I've already got 3 drops. So it's definitely a much better odds than on very easy, and based on my small sample size, this is what you should be going for. Note the same strategy will work on the normal difficulty, but the success rate is going to go down to as low as about 20 to 25%. So I just find it much better to spam easy than it is to take your chances on normal. Now Cait Sith only has 2 main abilities, but don't let that fool you because they're both a challenge to deal with. The first is Divine Favor, which will make it so that Cait Sith erases almost all of the enfeebles on him. Now this ability makes it so it's extremely difficult to keep any enfeebles on Cait Sith. However, you can use this to your advantage, as using Trust to enfeeble often, such as red mages, will help him use this ability more often. But note, it will not lock him to using it alone, and he's still going to be using the next ability quite frequently, which is the most dangerous. And it's level ? Holy. Well, this is going to do anywhere from 0 to almost 10,000 damage to everyone in range, and it's got 25 feet of range, so it's definitely going to hit you and all of your trust. Now this is the ability that pretty much the entire fight is based around, so let's go ahead and discuss exactly how it is we deal with. Now the first and most important thing you want to remember is you have to kill fast. Every few seconds that go by in this fight is another few seconds where he can use his holy ability and wipe out one of your trust. I normally manage 3 to 5 minute kills depending on when Benediction is used during the fight. Note that Benediction will always be used once, so be ready for it. Now Migawari must be up at all times, there is no exception. If it's down, you can be one-shotted at any moment. The third thing to keep in mind is that you want to use a trust tank. It is possible to tank this yourself, but it dramatically slows down the kill. I suggest using Archie. Cait Sith has a very fast rate of attack, and with some of the buffs he gives himself, it gets even faster. So you will be spending a considerable amount of time reapplying shadows if you are tanking. The fourth thing you want to remember is to use Inin and Yang to keep your enmity as low as possible for the fight, to make sure that you don't take hate and allow Archie to tank. Normally it works out just fine as long as you do both of these things. Now, the fifth thing to keep in mind is to use Urine and Kaka, since your own buffs are one of the few things you can control during this fight, since Enfeebles won't really be reliably landing or staying on Cait Sith. The sixth thing I suggest is to use Berserk to speed the fight along, and I find that Blade Shun with its attack boost works best with the Hishi Shiroken as your main weapon for damage. Simply just spam Blade Shun for the best damage overall in this fight. The seventh thing to keep in mind is to know that your trust can die at any time. That's another reason why you have about 3 to 5 minutes or so to kill, as you may not have the trust still around to reapply a buff when that buff wears, if that trust has of course died. The eighth thing to keep in mind is that Archie, Joachim, Arcelia, Monborough, and Yoran Oran make up kind of the recommended setup for this. But I've also used Ulmia, Korumoru, and Yignis in place of some of those, and it works just as well. Now if your trust start dying and you think you are in danger, pull to the starting ramp and then use Majin. You can then get up once he's gotten back to the middle of the battlefield, resummon your trust, and re-engage, with Cait Sith normally only gaining 40 to 60% of his hit points back. This is especially useful when using this strategy on the normal difficulty, when you may have gotten Cait down to 10% health or so, but all of your trusts are dead and you are very low on health. It may make sense to go ahead and use this tactic to make sure that you can pull through with the win. Now this strategy works for me about 95% of the time on easy, and about 25% of the time on normal, with normal runs taking over twice as long. Due to this ratio, I've chosen to spam easy runs, and I've noticed about a 20% drop rate in my first 15 runs doing this. Now while that is a small sample size, and far from definitive, it definitely tells me that the drops happen rather frequently here in the easy difficulty compared to the very easy difficulty, so this is where I think anyone should focus if they're trying to get these drops and can't manage to get a party to do this with on a higher difficulty. Let's go ahead and see what our easy example looks like. Enjoy the run, everyone. That's going to be it for how to take on Cait Sith on the easy and normal difficulties to actually get some drops. I hope you found that helpful. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Stay safe and stay healthy out there.